Welcome. Today I will be paraphrasing, summarizing, and sharing for the April 26th Al-Anon readings in Courage to Change and a little time for myself. We'll begin with the Serenity Prayer and 3 mindful breaths. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. I will take a moment and look this over. The question is, what can help me to adopt a sunnier attitude today? And the passage begins with a person talking about returning to Al-Anon. They have a husband who is an alcoholic who became sober, but this person was still walking on eggshells, waiting for a relapse. So this person was looking through their daily reader and they saw this quote: "If I can bring sunshine into our home, it cannot fail to affect those in it." I don't know what reader that's from, but this person says if only they had seen it years before, but in fact, on second thought, they weren't ready to see it until the day that they saw it. And now they realize that having a positive attitude helps every situation to be better. Today's reminder: life can be great as long as we shine our light. And the quote is from One Day at a Time in Al-Anon. Al-Anon helps us to shine light on seemingly hopeless situations. It sure does. So what can help me adopt a sunnier attitude today? Well, I think it's always very comforting to know that the people in Al-Anon are there to help me see things differently in a calm way. I also feel very fortunate that right now I don't feel like there's anything that I'm feeling especially troubled about. That's a relief. That's a very good feeling. But I am extremely grateful for the sunny attitude in Al-Anon in general. So how can I have a sunnier attitude today? A lot of it for me has to do with gratitude. Gratitude for all the things that I have in my life. And that's a big part of it. And also, it happens to be a lovely sunny day today. It's very windy, but the sun is shining and the skies are mostly blue. It's I think it's like 61 or 62. And to me, it's always very hopeful when the weather is nice. I was outside earlier today and I was pulling weeds in the yard, and I was bringing my little paper bag with me that I gather all the brush and the weeds and the trimmings and whatever I am taking out of the yard, I put in the bag and then I bring it to the recycling center. And it was so windy that whenever I wasn't kneeling on the bag or holding onto the bag was blowing all over the yard. But I was still so happy to be outside. So I think what helps me adopt a sunnier attitude, I think for me, it all has to do with gratitude. And when I say I'm grateful, I'm talking about I'm grateful that I can breathe without problems, without needing my inhaler right now. I'm grateful that I slept well last night. I'm grateful that I was going to say that no parts of my body hurt. That's not exactly true because I'm having some kind of issue, this ongoing issue with my upper left leg. It doesn't hurt, but I can feel it. But I'm grateful that the pain is extremely manageable. I'm not taking anything to reduce the pain. So like when I say I'm grateful, I'm not saying I'm grateful for anything, I mean, like materialistic or anything like that. I'm saying I'm grateful for like the most basic of things, and in my mind and in my heart, those are really the biggest things, the most important things. So a sunny attitude. I like that term, sunny attitude. Goes along with a lot of spiritual talk about like bringing our light or shining our light. That's what it makes me think of. All right, I'm going to read this. This is about reaching out to other Al-Anon members, talking about how we may feel reluctant, but how mutually beneficial it is when we reach out to other members because we learn from each other. It says it can be particularly helpful to call another Al-Anon member when we're preparing to do something new or something that makes us uncomfortable. It recommends that we call someone before taking the action and then following the action. I can see how that would be helpful because we talk about what we're doing before we do it, and it makes it more possible to act confidently, and then we share our courage that we did it. Today's reminder: if we reach out to an Al-Anon member and they're unavailable, it's important that we keep trying and we make another call to somebody else. The quote is from Al-Anon, Hope for Children of Alcoholics. We can't do this alone. We need to lean on each other. And we need to allow people to lean on us sometimes. It's a good reminder. I have a couple of people that I feel comfortable calling. The number one person that I feel comfortable calling is my sponsor. And then I have an Al-Anon friend who I feel comfortable reaching out to. There are members of my home meeting who, if I was in a jam, I could reach out to them. And in a real pinch, the first meeting I ever went to, I still feel a connection with the very first person that I ever talked with in Al-Anon. Isn't that funny? It's such a for me, it was such a profound experience to attend my first meeting that I still remember the first person that I made eye contact with, and uh, and I believe I still have that person's contact information. I actually think about them on a fairly regular basis and hope that they're well, because they helped me out so much just by making me feel welcome. We'll close out with the Serenity Prayer and 3 mindful breaths. Here we go. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Sending you love. Take care.